Oh shit.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Dead Funny Review Show. I'm your host, Chris. Joining me today is my co-host, Bree, and we're here to talk about Dark Phoenix. Woot woot. Another staple, not even another, the last staple in the X-Men series by Fox.
Bad face.
Maybe. It depends on if you were a Fox X-Men fan or not. If you were...
Hardcore X-Men fan here, right here.
If you were, then yes, this is kind of a sad walk away because it's, like I said, the last one. Because I'm pretty sure New Mutants got canceled, which would have been their actual last one, but I'm almost 100% sure that one got canceled. But anyways, as I'm looking that up, so yes, Dark Phoenix is the last one that's going to be happening. I don't know, actually, and saying that this might still be coming out. And that it's actually going to be a conjoined project between Fox. Oh, it's basically produced by Fox but distributed by Walt Disney. So maybe
That's weird.
Will be one.
How's that work?
It means that Fox is going to make the movie and pay for the movie, and then Disney is going to pay to distribute it and get it to all the different theaters and stuff like that, and then gain the money after that, because Fox will no longer have rights to it.
Mm.
But yes, so this will be the last. I mean, I would look at it this way: the Phoenix was the last one, for sure. Because New Mutant's going to be its own beast altogether. It's going to be the very first Marvel horror film, so which is going to be very interesting.
So, people have been just talking about continuously how much of a flop. Did you feel that it was like a huge flop?
I don't know if I would necessarily say I felt that Dark Phoenix was a huge flop. I definitely think that there were a lot more issues that comic book fans would pick up on more than just the casual moviegoers. I did not like the ending at all. I was definitely not a fan of the ending. The beginning was really good. The train fight scene, I didn't have too much of an issue with that, besides certain X-Men who I don't feel care to kill people or killing people, so that one I didn't really care for, but I liked some of the action, like the Magneto stuff made sense, which was pretty cool in my opinion. But yeah,
I would agree. I felt the beginning was amazing. Like honestly, they sucked me in so quickly that I was just like, wow, this is gonna be great. And then in the middle, it got like, this is really jumpy about this, and then at the end it kind of pulled it back together. Character flaws that made it hard to watch. So overall, it was like a up and down roller coaster of whether I liked it or didn't like it.
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the ending just because I felt it was a pretty tame ending for the Dark Phoenix. I mean, this is one of the most like OP celestial beings in like all of Marvel Comics. So for it to really not do anything but basically kill Mystique, it's kind of like I had a lot more higher hopes for this. I'll say it this way: I had a lot more higher hopes for this one being like really big, as far as like a lot of people dying in the movie and stuff like that, due to the fact that this was Fox's last X-Men. Like, this is the end of the X-Men series for them. So because of that, like, they had a lot more room, kind of like Avengers Infinity War, where like they killed off Iron Man and they had a lot more room to like kill off other things.
Yeah.
I feel like they missed the mark on that with this one.
Right. I mean, from my understanding, the Phoenix was really hard to control, and I don't understand why they wouldn't want to make it just seem like the world was possibly going to end. Or like, this is an insane power that can end worlds, but the worst that happened was an alien came by, took half of it, and she was able to control and killed the alien. Like, that's the worst that happened is we lost Mystique.
Right.
Which was sad. It was sad. And I think focusing on that moment, though, it wasn't as impactful as they, I think, wanted it to be. It was weird because you kind of had an attachment to Mystique. Moment, it was, I don't know if it was the acting, because I know that great actress, and I love, and I don't remember her actual name, but
Sophie
Sansa
Turner.
Stark, Sophie Turner. I love her too, and I felt she did really good in this movie. Like I felt her acting was really good. I think it was the acting. I actually am falling back to I feel like the director, whoever formed this story, was not pushing the story appropriately. It was really key and cut off in places.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I don't think that the directing behind it was all that great. But I mean, once again, when you look at it from a comic book standpoint, it's like there's so much time that passes between Phoenix becoming Dark Phoenix. So, you know, you kind of had a way better build up, and I don't know how you would be able to appropriately do that in one movie, in my own personal opinion. But that's just my opinion.
Cat just like jumped up on my leg.
But anyways, that being said, I don't know. It's hard to like accurately really rate this because it's just. I feel like one of the biggest things that's been a downfall for the X-Men movies, and especially for this one too, like for like what you just said, in order for the Mystique death to actually really mean something, I feel like there's a very long break in between these X-Men movies versus the actual like Avengers movies, you know. I just
They
felt like there's
almost
too much
needed
time
to
between
build
them.
our love up for Mystique again.
Right.
Almost. I don't know. I still could have felt that passion. There was just something weird in that scene that was like not being conveyed appropriately. And I almost wonder if it was the Jean Grey buildup.
Maybe.
We hadn't really got an attachment to her before, had we? Like this is the first time we've seen her.
No. When she was in Apocalypse,
Remembering wrong?
she was in Apocalypse.
Okay.
And she was also in. She was
Like a strong attachment. Maybe it's because
she was the main character in Days of Future Past, basically. Besides
I
Wolverine.
literally am blanking on that.
But still, I mean, it's been 3 years since Age of Apocalypse.
So maybe that's why I can't remember it because like I don't.
Well, Days of Future Past.
I
is
honestly
even
don't
further
remember
back.
anything from the past ones except
I mean, yeah, Days of Future Past were 24. It was 2014. So,
yeah. I mean it's definitely been way too long and I should have probably watched them over again before going to see this movie. Pressure.
Because yeah, Avengers Endgame came out this year, and then what about Infinity War?
Maybe that's where the disconnect's coming from.
1 year apart.
We-
1 year apart.
It's just been so long.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. I mean, you had the first one was 2 year or 3 years. The other one was 2 years. So
Yeah.
total of 5 years between Days of Future Past, which was considered the reset for the X-Men universe for the cinematic aspect of it, and
Yeah.
5 years to make
That's
a
a
total
shame.
of 3 movies, to where fucking Avengers released its 2 biggest fucking movies out of the entire franchise a year apart from each other.
Yeah. I think that Phoenix looked really cool. Like how they made her absorb the Phoenix, the powers, the way it would like feed into her veins almost like fire and her eyes. Like that was super cool. That was really fun to watch. Her powers. I think that was well done.
Yeah.
I like that part. I don't know if I like the alien part. The alien
get that
enemy
at all.
thing just seemed kind of weird, and I don't know if I can put my finger on it, on why specifically it seemed
It
weird.
just seemed like it was just out of nowhere. Like there was no build up for it or anything. They just showed up and then just started fucking going after the Phoenix Force, and that was it. That was definitely a very weird way to add those people into the thing. I don't even know who they were. I mean, that wasn't in the comics. At least the comics that I read, it wasn't, because she just got the Phoenix Force, and then she went on becoming Phoenix versus just being known as Jean Grey. And then way later on down the road, we get the Dark Phoenix arc.
Right. Well, that was kind of the story they were going for, right? Was she potentially could control that power, because that the enemy wasn't the Phoenix, the enemy was the aliens. So they kind of changed the story to it not being super overpowered to being, oh, the aliens are the enemy, we got to kill her so then Jean Grey can still. And it's just a cliche classic ending where I I don't know if it's just because I knew that the ending. I was kind of looking forward to seeing them have to fight Jean Grey
Right.
because she loses control of the power, and then the emotional toll on the friends.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely wasn't done right, in my opinion. But once again, with the fact that Wolverine wasn't going to be in this movie, I knew that they probably weren't going to kill her off. So
I mean, they did kill her off. What do you mean?
I mean, as far as like the team killing her,
Oh, okay. I was
they
like,
weren't going to kill her.
did we watch the same movie?
Yeah, as far as the team actually killing her, I didn't think that was going to happen. Because at first, whenever she was getting that whole like power sucked out of her, I thought that they were gonna do that, like let her lose the power, and then they would have to all band together and fight that chick. And I was like, if they do that, like this movie's gonna be fucking terrible. I mean, the movie still wasn't that great. And they didn't do that, but I was like, I mean, I could instantly see why people were like, yeah, this movie fucking sucks. It's like, let's give her the Phoenix power and then immediately fucking take it away. So yeah, I just, like I said, I don't agree with the cosmic energy just being, I don't know, like it seemed like they downplayed it extremely, and they sold it so hard in the beginning of the movie of it being like this fucking terrifying thing, and just obviously once again me knowing the comics and knowing how strong the Force is, and it just seemed like it was extremely downplayed. So I didn't really care for the overall like arc of the enemies and shit like that were coming to Earth. That just wasn't, like I said, that wasn't exciting for me.
It can create life. It can create death. She was able to control it. Seems legit.
Yeah, I mean,
it should have. The story in the X-Men, from what I understand, is that she goes crazy. She can't control it because that's how powerful it is. Ends up destroying the people closest to her. And I believe, and I think that maybe a lot of other people had a similar expectation that that would kind of happen. We wouldn't get this whole appeal to everyone type ending where she saves the world.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it just, yeah, I don't really feel like there was enough of an emotional scene for Cyclops after Jean Grey died as well. I mean, it's kind of like the end of his life. And
yes,
in the comics way
he
later,
didn't even shed a well, I mean, can he shed tears? I don't know.
well, he can cry. He just can't take his glasses off. I mean, he can take his glasses off. It's just he can't open his eyes if he takes his glasses off.
All right. Okay, I remember now. I was like, not like they didn't even show any reaction to him losing her, really.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. It seemed like what they were trying to build the main emotional impact around was between Beast and Mystique and Xavier.
Professor
and
Xavier.
Phoenix, which didn't really make sense to me. So, I mean, obviously he's going to have feelings for her as far as, you know, he felt like he watched her grow from a child. But at the same time, I mean, like I said, the main love story is definitely Cyclops and Jean Grey. I mean, because like I said, in the comics, they have 2 kids.
Right.
So.
Well, he definitely should have had more of a reaction. I remember thinking when I was watching it that there was a certain point where it showed him after, and he wasn't like sad at all. There was no emotional response. That's what I mean when I said they were like skipping over things. They just that like normal people would want to see. And I think part of the like missing aspect when it came to Jean Grey was they went straight from him bringing Jean Grey in to an adult, I believe. Yeah, to her being an adult. There was nothing that's showing him like maybe like, teaching her, forming that bond. Wow. Her mind.
I mean, they obviously were cramming shit into this movie, so I mean, they really didn't have time to go back and develop that when they barely had time to develop the power movement in itself already. I mean, because there's just a total change and her overall like personality too. Whenever she goes from Phoenix to Dark Phoenix, and that was one of the biggest things too on why they did it, as far as one, through her look, as far as her costume and stuff like that too. So you just kind of like really dug that in, because she was dealing with the internal struggle. Yes, that was great and all, but like it's like we talked about the Phoenix Force. Like when it took over, it was just automatically like, bam, you knew she. I mean, she even looked like she was fucking evil. And it wasn't so much of a like she would just have a freak out moment. That's how it started, sure, but you know, I mean, it just, the freak out moment wasn't. I don't know. I think that they could have handled the Dark Phoenix better. I definitely think that with more setup, it would have been better. And I mean, even just so that way you have pictures as references. Because once again, like, I mean, I've read the comics growing up, but like, I mean, just in that picture alone, she kind of looks like your normal superhero. That's whenever she first had the Phoenix power, was exploring its potential, and then like whenever it took over, like you could see the complete change in her face alone. Like she looks like she's about to fucking murder people. Like she's about to go on a rampage. And it was just this more sinister side of Jean Grey that we had never seen before. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
It just
overall, it was decent. Like I said, I probably would have gave it a 10 based off the beginning and the trailer. At the end, I would say I'm giving it a 7. I'm not putting it as low as a lot of other people seem to be putting it. But one of my other big faults with this was Professor Xavier. Like, I am really big on Professor Xavier. I love Jean-Luc Picard. I think he did an amazing role in the previous X-Men with and I think that the dude that plays him, but the character he was portraying this time was kind of selfish. Yeah, it was kind of selfish. It was not thinking of his team, and that I'm just basing this off in the movies, remember, but to me that doesn't seem like Professor Xavier, and he was older and more wiser in those movies, but it just seemed like him. So that was kind of throwing me off and making me kind of disgusted with what was going on, when I just want to kind of love Professor Xavier, because he's supposed to be the wise person. He's supposed to be the teacher. He's supposed to be there for everyone. So while maybe that's cheesy, I personally feel like that he should be doing that, and he should be fulfilling that role, because that's all I've ever seen from him.
Yeah. It's definitely a different play for sure. I mean, they definitely hit him with that selfish aspect, but at the same time, I mean, I think because of the difference in the amount of time between each movie, it's kind of like you forget the reason why he does a lot of stuff he does for the mutants in order to keep the peace. I mean, and what he said in the movie, which I thought was very, very well done, because it definitely plays like the weight Xavier carries on his shoulders from day to day, is we are one bad day away from being hunted like enemies again. And it's true. It's 100% true. Like, that's the weight he carries on his shoulders every day in the comics. You know, it just takes one fuck up, and X-Men can be fucking public enemy number 1 again, you know?
Right. Definitely. He's doing PR, basically.
So it's
public relations.
It's definitely one of those where it's like he has to deal with this, and no one else does, because he takes care of it. And I think that's where that was like a big deal, where it's like, cool, you know, fucking Mystique doesn't have to deal with that, so she doesn't think about it. So like whenever she said it, you know, he was all like, you don't understand. Like, this shit I have to deal with on a daily basis. Like, you don't get the reason why I make the moves that I make. So,
to be fair though, I think part of the problem is that he sent Jean Grey back into the shuttle for one person. I mean, they probably still would have got huge recognition for taking most of that team home. Like,
but the point of it is that he doesn't know that, though. He doesn't know that, though. They went up there to save people. They left someone to die. It's like today's world.
Yeah, but you can't ever save everyone every time.
Correct, but it's like, look at today's world. What does the media highlight? Negativity or positivity? What's going to be that headline? The X-Men saved everybody from the shuttle, or the X-Men saved everybody and left the captain to die? I'm pretty sure the second one was
hella negativity, but usually in circumstances where there's people being saved, it's focused on the positivity, like firemen, policemen. Even if there's one person that dies, yes, that gets focused on a little bit, but the part where fear spirals out of control is when that person is doing something wrong and killed someone. It's not when they try to save a bunch of people and they missed one person because they couldn't save them.
Right. Okay, pause. I need you to put your phone on silent. Like it's constantly going off, and that's in the video. Anyways, I mean, but once again, I mean, the mutants already have such a negative stigma against them, so it's very, very easy to make that rationale that he would want to try to save everyone since they're already up there, versus leaving someone behind whenever they know where the person's at. It's not like they're like, he's on the ship. We have no idea where he's at, though. Like, they told them exactly where he was at. You know, it just comes down to, can the X-Men do it? And they had already went all the way up there. It's like, we might as well go ahead and try to save this last guy. I'm not saying that it was the right call, but it's just one of those calls where normally 10 out of 10 times when you have a chance to make the right call and you're already there, you're going to probably try and make the right call. And once again, he wasn't able to see exactly everything that was going down to where, you know.
Right. So why would he trump what was happening? Yeah. There's someone that could see what was going. Well, actually, couldn't he see what was going on? He could read. He could read people's minds.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, the beginning was great. The Phoenix absorption was great. I mean, even if did they show that other ship in the beginning? Because I don't remember seeing that other ship in the beginning.
What other ship? Talking about the aliens? The alien ship? I don't know if they showed it in the beginning, and that could be due to the fact that they obviously didn't want to give away the plot. And they just showed it afterwards, like, we were there the whole time, you just didn't know. So, which is fine. I mean, that doesn't really bother me that much. But, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it was definitely a different movie, for sure. And I think that there were a lot of things that could have been done differently in order for this to have the impact that it should have had, since it was the very last Fox X-Men movie. But
yeah.
and honestly, it really was really big in their arena to do that, because like the next X-Men movie that comes out is gonna be Disney. And if it's extremely fucking better, like, Fox is basically to blame for the shitty views and reviews that they've gotten the entire time. So you think they would have put a lot more into
everyone
the last one?
Blames everyone else that's not Disney for their shittiness. They're like, Disney, we know you can do it. You've got it. You're good. Anyone else is like, nope, you just aren't Disney. I mean, that's just it. You just aren't Disney.
They are fucking killing it. So, I mean, I can't disagree with results.
They have the formula. They have the formula down. They're keeping it tight-lipped on what it is. They know how to get people to love a movie.
Yeah. That's true. It's pretty good. So I guess to go ahead and wrap things up here, what would be your ultimate rating for Phoenix? Or I guess I should say Dark Phoenix. Even though we really didn't see Dark Phoenix there in the movie, but
I just want to say before I give this rating, I think that the actors and actresses did a good job. I think that the directing part was lacking, or the formation of the movie. So I'm going to give it a 6.
6? Fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm going to kind of give it a 5. Like I said, the beginning of the movie was really good for me. The train scene was pretty good for me to an extent. But it just seems like a lot of the overall X-Men cores and values just got thrown to the side whenever...
and the story was a little weird to follow.
Yeah. Story's a little late to follow as well. I mean, there was no build-up for these enemies at all. They just showed the fuck up out of nowhere and then just started fucking shit up. So there was, like, no build-up. Like, we knew who the aliens were whenever they were attacking the Avengers. Like, we knew who they were before they got there. Like, we knew what was going on. Like, it wasn't just like, surprise, we're here. And, oh, well, what the fuck are they? Oh, my God, you can't fucking kill them. Like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, my God, they can make themselves look like other people. Like, it was just a lot of shit to digest while you're trying to also focus on the main story, which is fucking Dark Phoenix. So, which, once again, I don't really even feel like we saw Dark Phoenix. I feel like we saw Phoenix first experiencing Phoenix. So, I think the movie should not have been named Dark Phoenix. I'll put it that way. I think it should have just been named Phoenix.
Yeah.
And maybe I wouldn't have such a heavy hit against it. But I do. So, and that's pretty much is what it is. But if you enjoy this content, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, turn on the notifications. That way you get notified every time we upload a new video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts on the Dark Phoenix movie or any of the things that we talked about. Or if you have questions on what I remember from the comics and want to discuss that, I'm more than happy to jump in the comics and talk about that as well. But if you want a more direct form of communication, we have our Twitter links and our Twitches for you to come hang out, watch the video games. But at the end of all this, hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.